In 1954, a 52-year-old milkshake machine salesman named Ray Kroc drove 8 hours across the desert to see why a small restaurant in San Bernardino, California, was ordering so many of his machines. What he found changed everything he thought he knew about business. The McDonald brothers had created something that seemed impossible. A restaurant that served high-quality food faster and cheaper than any competitor, using a system so simple that teenagers could operate it perfectly. Most people would have seen a successful restaurant and tried to copy their menu or steal their customers. Ray Kroc saw something completely different. He saw a system that could be replicated infinitely. And he spent the next 25 years proving that the most valuable businesses aren't built around products. They're built around systems that create products consistently. When Kroc died in 1984, McDonald's was serving 25 million customers every day in over 8,000 locations across 32 countries. But here's what's remarkable about Ray Kroc's approach. He didn't invent hamburgers, he didn't create new cooking techniques, and he didn't even own the original McDonald's concept. He succeeded by understanding something that most entrepreneurs completely miss: the difference between building a business and building a system that creates businesses. The first principle that defined how Ray Kroc worked was what he called systematic replication. This wasn't about copying successful restaurants. It was about identifying the precise elements that made success repeatable and eliminating everything that made success dependent on individual talent or local circumstances. When Kroc first visited the original McDonald's, he spent 3 days studying every aspect of their operation. But instead of focusing on their popular menu items or their efficient service, he obsessed over their systems. How did they ensure that every hamburger was identical? How did they train employees to work at peak efficiency? How did they maintain quality standards when serving hundreds of customers per hour? Kroc realized that the McDonald brothers had accidentally created something revolutionary, a restaurant system that worked independently of the people operating it. Every task was broken down into specific steps. Every recipe was precisely measured. Every employee role was clearly defined. The system was so robust that it could produce consistent results regardless of who was working on any given day. But Kroc saw something the McDonald brothers had missed. This system wasn't just a way to run one restaurant efficiently, it was a template that could be replicated anywhere in the world. While the brothers were content running their single successful location, Kroc envisioned thousands of identical McDonald's restaurants, each operating with the same systematic precision. The practical result was that Kroc didn't franchise restaurants. He franchised systems. When someone bought a McDonald's franchise, they weren't just buying the right to sell hamburgers. They were buying a complete operating system that told them exactly how to hire, train, cook, serve, clean, and manage every aspect of their business. The second principle was what Kroc called standardized excellence. This was the idea that exceptional quality could be achieved through perfect consistency rather than individual creativity. Most restaurants in the 1,950 seconds relied on skilled cooks who could adapt recipes, improvise solutions, and use personal judgment to create good food. This approach produced inconsistent results and made scaling impossible. Kroc took the opposite approach. He eliminated personal judgment from every process and replaced it with detailed standards that anyone could follow. Every McDonald's hamburger had to weigh exactly 1.6 ounces. Every French fry had to be cut to precise dimensions. Every milkshake had to be mixed for exactly 90 seconds. These weren't arbitrary rules, they were the result of extensive testing to determine the optimal approach for speed, quality, and cost-effectiveness. But Kroc's standardization extended far beyond food preparation. McDonald's restaurants had identical floor plans, identical equipment, identical uniforms, identical training programs, and identical operating procedures. When customers walked into any McDonald's anywhere in the world, they knew exactly what to expect. This standardized excellence created something unprecedented in the restaurant industry: predictable quality at scale, Customers didn't have to worry about whether their local McDonald's would be good or bad. They knew it would be exactly the same as every other McDonald's they had ever visited. The third principle was systematic innovation. Kroc understood that maintaining competitive advantage required continuous improvement, but he approached innovation systematically rather than randomly. Instead of encouraging individual franchisees to experiment with new ideas, Kroc centralized all innovation at McDonald's headquarters. Every potential improvement was tested extensively before being implemented system-wide. New menu items, new cooking techniques, new service procedures, and new management approaches were all evaluated through controlled experiments that measured their impact on speed, quality, cost, and customer satisfaction. This systematic approach to innovation allowed McDonald's to improve continuously without sacrificing consistency. When they introduced the Big Mac, it wasn't because one franchisee had a creative idea. It was because extensive testing proved that this particular product could be integrated into their existing system without compromising their operational standards. Kroc also applied systematic innovation to the franchise model itself. He constantly refined the training programs, the site selection criteria, the financial requirements, and the ongoing support systems to ensure that new franchisees could replicate McDonald's success regardless of their previous experience. Here's what's most instructive about how Ray Kroc worked. He didn't just build a restaurant chain. He created a template for systematic business replication that revolutionized multiple industries. Kroc's systematic replication became the foundation of modern franchising. His standardized excellence principles established the quality control methods that global brands use today. His systematic innovation approach created the research and development processes that allow large organizations to improve continuously while maintaining consistency. Modern entrepreneurs often focus on creating unique products or services that stand out from competitors. Kroc proved that you can achieve extraordinary success by taking existing concepts and making them systematically replicable at massive scale. Kroc worked by building systems instead of businesses, standardizing excellence instead of accepting inconsistency, and innovating systematically instead of randomly. He understood that the goal wasn't to create one great restaurant, it was to create a system that could create thousands of great restaurants. In today's economy, the most valuable companies follow Kroc's basic approach. Amazon systematically replicates fulfillment centers, Starbucks standardizes coffee shop excellence, and Tesla innovates systematically in manufacturing. They succeed by building systems that create consistent results at scale. The question isn't whether Kroc's principles can work in modern business. The success of franchise industries worth hundreds of billions of dollars proves they can. The question is whether modern entrepreneurs are willing to prioritize systematic thinking over creative expression, standardized processes over individual flexibility, and replicable systems over unique solutions. Ray Kroc proved that the most powerful business strategy isn't being first or being different, it's being systematically excellent at scale.